Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, I'm standing in the middle of a lava lake because we are once again looking at a modded planet, a modded lava planet. And while this one is called Planet Ignis, which is this lovely thing all the way over here. So this is a gigantic red planet, which is well incredibly dangerous to be on, but unfortunately the lava does not actually deal any damage to you unless you were to say add in a mod that does that, because by default it is simply ice, so when you were to drive over it in a land vehicle, you would just slip and slide everywhere, which is quite an odd thing to experience. So what this planet has in terms of features is of course giant lava lakes, where we can clearly see one at the very top of the planet, and of course one on the bottom left right there. We've also got giant mountainous regions which are quite treacherous to go up. You would need to have a very big rover with massive wheels to be able to go up there safely. A small block vehicle with tiny wheels is going to have a lot of problems on this, so I found when I was testing it out. And then of course we've got lava plains, which is nice flat surfaces for you to drive across and make excellent places to actually plop your base down. In terms of resources, what we've got on here is iron, nickel, silicon, cobalt, silver, magnesium, gold and platinum, with magnesium being the most abundant resource we'll find on this planet. And then for the other important bits of specifications before we actually go around and have a look at all these features, is that it's got 1.08 G's of gravity, it's got very low wind, it's got no oxygen on here, so we had to be incredibly prepared when we actually come down to this planet and start exploring it. And speaking of exploring it, how you actually add this into your world to actually play around with, you simply add it in through the mod menu, then once you load it into your world, you simply press Shift F10, come all the way down to the planets, and then we come all the way down to Ignis, which is right there. We just simply use the default spawn, which would be 19 kilometers, but we can go all the way up to 120 if that's what we want to do. And that's generally the recommended or what the creator has said to do with this thing, but I'm sticking with the smaller version because it makes it easier to see all the features this planet has to offer. Yes, before we actually go down to the planet, here we go, all the way around it, on the big version. There we go. We've got some lovely cloud effects or lovely atmospheric effects that go all the way around this thing. On the dark side, we see the glow patches of all of our lava lakes. They're moving all the way up, there we go, so we see the split of the daytime and then the nighttime. They're moving all the way down. And there we go, that's a gigantic lava lake down here. Look at that massive lava ocean, in fact. We do have little pockets here and there, but we've got a bit of ground, so you can build on there if you want to. But like I said, the lava doesn't actually deal any damage to you, so feel free to build on the lava if that's what you want to do. But anyway, that's enough for the actual planet view. It's time to come all the way down to free camera. We'll use this planet for the moment. You come all the way down like so. So this is the lava lake, the giant lava lake that goes all the way around this place, getting a bit closer here. Here we go. And yes, there's quite a lot of stuff going on there, looking all the way down so we can get a bit closer look at the actual texture. There we go. Zooming away, it does change quite slightly. So there we are, we've got a nice little detail, moving away. And there we are. Yes, it's driving around here. Here's the little patches that we saw from space. So we've got these very light patches all the way around here. Moving all the way across over to this section where we can see a mountainside in the distance. And there we are, come across some very dark stone, which is stone. And we've got some very dangerous areas here. So we've even got like a little pothole here. So if you're not paying attention while driving around at high speeds, you can very easily land yourself in one of them. Zooming all the way across. All the way around. Here we go onto this section. Again, some very dangerous mountainous areas around this section. As we want to keep going. There we go, a very small lava lake right there. Getting a bit closer. And all the way across into this section. And there we go, we've got large areas where there is no lava, but then we've got pockets which are very much similar to the ice patches that we'll find on the Earth-like planets. And we do have some very nice atmospheric effects in the form of these dark clouds that we see all around this place. Hopefully they don't get destroyed by YouTube's compression. They do add a nice little effect all around this place. Anyway, here's a nice little lava lake. So as you see here, we've got this little patch in the middle that you can easily build up a base on if you want to be surrounded by lava. And just zooming around here and coming across to another little section. Let's say over onto this part right here, coming all the way down. And there we go, that's a very nice effect there. So the atmospheric clouds do block off what's exactly below here. So all the way up, there we go, can't really see too much, it's just a lovely red blob. Then all the way down, and then got our stony mountainside with a few lava lakes here and there. But with that, that's largely what it looks like when we're using the free camera, just zooming around everywhere. What if we were to say drive around and of course test out the surface? So pressing F6, and well, it looks like my other character has died, because I'm in survival mode to actually test out the effects on this planet. So bring up the HUD here, here's a small little rover, bring up the signals, and there we go, we see in this very section right here, what we, there it is, there's my body location 3 kilometers away. But no, what we've got here is platinum, we then got some iron, we've got some nickel, we see all the way down there, what is that, cobalt? Then in the distance there, we just about make out some magnesium and silicon, which is sitting right next to my body's location. Anyway, in first person view, driving this thing around, here we go. this is what like on a very nice little flat surface, and this is why the character is currently plopped down here, is that this is a very nice flat area. You could easily build up a massive base section on this area because it is almost perfectly flat, as you see when we start to drive around even more. So here we go, we've got a few lumps and bumps here and there, and just putting down some steel blocks here will be absolutely perfect. But all the way around this section, we've got nickel, we've got cobalt, we've got iron, platinum, very nice area to actually be built down on. The only thing that we are missing is silver, but I'm sure we'll find that eventually. Anyway, up into this section, this is what I was talking about with having a large wheeled vehicle, because this is an incredibly dangerous area. Ooh, we don't want to have that. Just going to hide all the signals once again. Yes, we've got very uneven surfaces when going uphill, with large flat surfaces that does create an illusion when you drive around at high speeds that you can't just gun it all the way up a hill, only to be met by those lumpy areas and end up blowing up your vehicles. Coming all the way down here, again, it looks very, very flat, but it's just lumpy enough that it would cause a lot of damage if you were driving around at very high speeds. Okay, we're going to keep going along here, and we should eventually come to a nice lava lake over in that section right there, which is where we're going to stop. I'm going to pull out a drilling tool, and we're going to go all the way down into the surface. And here we are on a very dim lava lake, so this must be very old, starting to cool down to forming stone on top of it. Hopping out of here, jetpacking all the way down, shift F10, coming over here and spawning myself in a tool, because once again, I'm in survival mode. And we want to have that one, dropping it down, grabbing it, and here we go. So using the right mouse button to make a little dip, there we go. Then of course using the left mouse button to make it a few stones. And that should do quite nicely. So looking down here, that's what it looks like. There's little chunks, and they are just stones for you to pick up and shove into your inventory. And with that section, that's all there is on this part. So what I am going to do is now grab hold of my vehicle, come into the free camera once again, come back over to that character, and I'll spawn it down onto a lava lake, a proper lava lake. I'll go drill through that one. And here we are now approaching the lava lake, and like I said earlier, this is simply ice, so driving across it, once we get past the stone section, here we go. Now, as you can see, yes, we will just drift around here because it is just ice coloured red with a nice little texture to go on top of it. So you can use that to your advantage if you want to, not too sure what kind of advantage that would be. Anyway, hopping out of here, all the way down once again, crouching, right mouse button, make a hole. There we go, and that's what it looks like all around us. Now making some chunks. There we go. And looking all the way down, here's your little molten chunks. So picking up these ones, once again they are stone, worth a bit more, at least they feel like they're worth a bit more than what we picked up from the other section. But that's that for the lava lake. And here we go one more time for another little drilling test. We're going to be on this surface right here. We're going to do it specifically on this patch right here, this nice dark patch. So we're going to drill all the way down. There we go, having a look around, putting on my lights. And there we go, now actually making some chunks. That'll do quite nicely. Put it on my light once again. And there we go. It looks very similar to the standard stone that you find on the Earth-like planet, apart from these very dark ones, which are just completely pitch black, even if we shine the light directly onto them. There we go. And of course, zooming away there is the hole. And I believe the next thing to do with this is going to be to go through the weather effects, because not too much else to talk about with this planet. What you've seen already is a very good summary of what this planet has to offer. So here we go with the weather effects. Pressing this into here, down to the weather effects. And we're going to come down to this one right here. So here we go, we've got Ignis Ashfall and Ignis Thermal Storm, where the Ashfall is going to be like a foggy snowstorm, so creating this. Here we go, waiting for the effects to actually start up. And there we go, we've got these little flakes that fall down to the sky, these dark flakes. And it just makes a nice little atmosphere. With the change of time of day. There we go, we're now coming to nighttime. That'll do quite nicely, looking around here. Put on my lights. Now we can't really see too much, so it makes it very, very foggy, and just a nice little experience. Now coming to this, removing that weather effect, and coming over to the other model weather effect, so removing that one, there we go. So we're in the middle of the night, all the way down to here, and selecting wherever it's gone, there is the thermal storm, creating this one, and here we go, we've got now a very heavy fog, which makes it incredibly dangerous to actually fly around in a small ship. In fact, we zoom all the way away. There we go, that's even worse compared to what we just saw. And there's the two weather effects. And I suppose what I can do now is bring the sunlight back around, see if it makes a little bit of a difference. There we go, so there's the sun right there, we can clearly see it in the distance, wiggling around there. And there we are with that. And I suppose what I could do, for good measure here, is now come over to this, once again, remove that, there we go. Well, that's some good old rainy weather. Here we go, light rain, create that. There we go, it's now raining on the lava planet. Does look very odd, but does create a nice little colour scheme with the atmosphere and of course the lava right down here. Go remove that. Go try something else. How about a dust storm? There we go. Dust storm could work very well. We even got a weird green tint all the way around this thing. And I suppose we'll come do one more. Here we go. We'll go have a heavy rainstorm. There we go. That's all we get. Zooming away there. There we are. And finally just removing this. There we go. The free camera once again. So what we can do now, come all the way down. There's the core. Very nice effect in there. Almost artistic with the way that's been set up. And I believe that is pretty much it for what this planet has to offer. So I believe I've covered everything. We've gone through its resources, we've gone through its biomes, we've gone through its gravity, its low wind, its oxygen, and all of that. And of course we had a little ground test and saw everything in person. So I believe I'll leave it there. It's a fantastic planet to have in your world. If you do want to have a lava planet to go exploring, maybe have it as a late game exploration zone to go and test out your ship. And, well, there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do, as well as a link to the SkyBox I'm currently using. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.